Namaste. I am Chavi Sharma from Girls Bus. And I keep on hearing this from everyone all the time that we belong to a weak gender and that a woman is dependent on a man for her self identity. To prove that wrong, today I am going live with none other than Zaaria Patni. Let's see whether she's here. Zaaria is the girl who said no to adjustments and compromises. In fact, she challenged the whole Indian law system for the sake of her son's passport. Hi, Zaaria.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for joining this live session with Girls
Welcome.
Bus.
Most welcome. Very happy to be here.
You are a little bit less audible.
Um, okay, one sec. Can you hear me now? Is this better?
A little better.
Yeah? I don't have my headphones, but
So,
what?
can you keep the phone a little near you?
Yeah, I can do that. I hope you can see me then.
Yeah, we can very
Yeah?
well see you, but your voice is a little bit less audible. Let me see whether.
I can hear you properly.
Okay, fine. Zaria, I know this is not a easy thing to go back and talk about the dark phase of your life, but your life story is something which will inspire women here, and it's so nice of you that you want to share that with everyone here. So please tell us that
So,
you got married at such a young age and what happened.
I mean, I've come on this platform so many times. I'm sure many of my viewers like already know my story, and it's all over Google, but every time I think I do another interview or like it's just like there are more and more people that are coming and asking me questions or there's someone who needs help. So I'm always happy to like come on board and talk about it. And no matter how many times I repeat it, there are about like thousands of women, men, children who have no idea that there are new laws for the passport, there are laws for women. So anyway, so in short, like I got married when I was 19. I had my child when I was 20, and between 19 um your I can't see you. Yeah,
Uh,
sorry, I froze for a bit.
okay.
Yeah, and I got separated in I think 9 months of my marriage, but I was already pregnant in the seventh month of my marriage. So for 2 months, I was living in Dubai with my ex-husband, and I think it was probably the worst 2 months of my life. I was hospitalized 3 times, and the abuse was not. I can't even say like there's not like a right or a wrong when it comes to abuse. Like some people just have it. I think the inherent nature is to trouble people, and that
Mhm.
can be in manipulation and like mental abuse, emotional abuse, like abusing the person and then being like, okay, I really love you, I'm sorry I did that, but it doesn't stop. It doesn't
It
stop.
doesn't stop. Exactly,
It just
yes.
gets worse. Yeah, so I was caught up in a marriage that was like that for 9 months, and I didn't know any better. I didn't know this was happening to me. I didn't know this was some sort of violence that I was going through. And those 9 months, honestly, like I've blocked a lot of it because it's been quite some time. I couldn't move forward in my life if I had to like continuously like replay the same thing in my mind. But from whatever
Yes.
like the little instances, like I can't wear earrings, I can't wear gold earrings or silver or any kind of metal. Like I react really badly. And back then it was probably like the eighth or the ninth time I had re-pierced my holes, like just before my marriage. And I remember my mom had also told him, like, don't make like really heavy earrings, make something really small because her ears really bleed and she can't wear earrings. And obviously he went into the opposite. And it had been like say about like 10 days of festivities. I was wearing jewelry and earrings like every day. And I remember it was like almost a month, and I was like, listen, my ears have become really bad, you know, like they're really swelling up. I can't wear these big earrings. I'm just gonna wear
Yes.
something
Yes.
small, and I'm not going to wear something so
Hmm.
basic. This guy has opened my wardrobe, thrown all my clothes on the floor. Everything that was on my dressing table, he's thrown everything on the floor. He was like throwing candles and showpieces on me, saying that I'm being such a terrible wife by not listening to him because I was not wearing earrings. I was like, my ears are bleeding. And anyone who has, and you know, like everyone's ear holes, they are very sensitive. It's impossible at some point to wear earrings. I think every woman who has that will know what I'm talking about. He
Yeah.
just didn't listen. He has called my parents up. He told my parents, your daughter is so disobedient. I'm asking her to do one thing. She's not doing anything. I want a divorce. I'm going to send her back. He's called Emirates Airline. He's booked my ticket, and I'm just like sitting out there, and I'm just like, obviously it was too much at that point, but like now I understand what was going on
Yes.
with me.
Hmm.
So this is just one incident. I
Yeah.
spent 9 months
There must
every
be
day
hundreds of
talking.
them.
Sorry.
There must be hundreds of those instances, and you
it
don't
was
see. I mean,
it was every hour there was something, but the big
hmm.
thing was that when I was pregnant, I had to go to the doctor because I was throwing up, and the doctor had given me medication for my nausea and for my vomiting. And he hid my medicines because those medicines had a little bit of sedation, so I would go to sleep. And he didn't let me take them, and I got so sick post that, like I was throwing up 30 times a day. I had no minerals in my body. I had, I think, reduced to like a stick, basically a skeleton. And when the doctor
That's
met me
horrible.
exactly after 2 months, she was like, what have you done to yourself? Like, she actually put me in emergency. She's like, she needs to be hospitalized instantly. Like, she's going to die. Like, there's nothing left in her. She's gonna go back to
Yes.
India in a coffin. I was that sick. I was dehydrated. My ketone level was 3 plus plus plus. That was the turning point in my head. I was like, I think the only prayer I must have actually asked from my heart was like, either I die, or God, you send me back to my parents, because I cannot live with this man. And
Yes, absolutely.
God wanted me to be here with other people, helping other people, so he's given me a second life. So my entire marriage was just that. It was just abuse. There was nothing else. Like, I have people who don't really know me well, or who've not known me from that time, coming and asking me that. I'm sure it must be like one day of marriage that was like good. And I'm like, no, there's nothing like good. There's just nothing like good in a situation like this. The problem was not marriage or a wedding. The problem was the person.
That was his character basically. He had
Exactly.
that sadistic mentality, and he was basically torturing you on that.
And he used to enjoy it. Like, loves it. It's quite scary to think that we have humans that actually
And
are
his family
so.
hid that from you, right?
Sorry?
He must have been like that. He must have been like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but the
yeah.
family,
No,
I think, hid that.
he was always like that. The family hid it
Yes, the
really well.
guys change after marriage. They think so.
Yeah, they were like, okay, you know what, we'll just pawn him off to her, and she will have to deal with it. Like, we don't have to deal with anything anymore. So this was the idea, and they've been doing it continuously. I was his
Okay.
first wife. His third wife is there, who's also left him.
Third wife.
Yeah, she she went ahead and like filed a huge complaint in Dubai, and he's absconded from Dubai right now. So she's put the
Oh,
Interpol on him right now to find him. So it was not like I was making something up, because I also got to hear like random, you know how family friends are, they talk about you and they like to talk
yes.
trash about you, because it's better to put someone down than to like help them.
Yes.
And now, like 15 years later, it's like a full circle for me, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, this is quite bad. Like the same guy is going on ruining the lives of all the other girls, and his family is like supporting him in that. That's the
Fully,
worst thing that can
fully.
happen.
His family, his friends, his siblings, they all support him. And at the back of my head, I'm just like, one day this is all gonna come back to you. No matter how much you're trying to cover it up by having people over and trying to pretend like you're holier than thou, it's all gonna come back to you at some point. God's not gonna let
Yes.
you just go like that. And that's for any abuser. I don't think it's only selected to this ex-husband of mine, but it's for any abuser.
Yeah, this is a common thing, you know. Our society thinks like this, that the men can never be at fault. So I guess that's the thing that's happening. Okay. So, please tell us what exactly were the main red flags which you felt from time to time when you were with the ex-husband? I mean, the
So,
trigger points.
so I,
There
you know,
must be many, but the main ones.
so red flags is something which I didn't think even existed. Like I had no idea there's a term called red flags. This is again like now it's like 16 years back. I had no idea. But if you ask me now, what are the red flags? Like now, so many years later, when you like look back and see, okay, you know, all the things that were existing with this person, and if there's a new person in my life, how I'm supposed to be paying attention to. So, firstly,
Mhm.
the first red flag was like when you're the kind of love, there are two kinds of love. There's an obsession, and then there's something which is an actual love. So the obsessed love, where they are like, oh, we love you so much, don't talk to this one, don't talk to that one, don't meet this one, don't go here, don't wear this,
So
don't eat that.
possessive.
That's a no. That's a
Mhm.
big red flag. Moment your partner starts, I think, isolating you from people that you care about, who've been in your life for so many years, and tells you don't do this and don't do that, and you should be doing this, and I'm only telling you because I love you, that's bullshit. That's like garbage. Like, I would never be with anyone going further who's gonna stop me from meeting my family, meeting my friends, wearing what I like. I think that's a full no. That's the first flag. The second flag is when someone tries to overcompensate for their behavior. They're always like basically not meeting you halfway, but then overcompensating and probably in a materialistic way. You
Okay.
know? Yeah, I felt like
Artificial
at
type.
that I felt like at that point he was trying so hard that even if I said that, oh, I like this, it was on my doorstep. And I think that kind of
Okay.
behavior has just like kind of given me a weird anxiety. Like I don't like anyone. If I like something, it has to be given to, you know, like just given to me instantly. It's fine. It's not required. And I felt like he was doing that to compensate for his actual behavior. To, you
Can
know,
be no
mask,
compensation for that.
yeah,
Yes.
to mask it. And I'm not a materialistic person. So for me, you know, it was okay. Like whatever. It was not like a big deal. And I think the third thing would be I have to really think, but I think these 2 points are very valid.
These are, yeah, exactly they are. Okay. So, your life's journey is so inspiring. Like, you did not bow down in front of anyone. That's commendable. Like, in fact, you did not bow down in front of the Indian legal system as well. So, tell us what exactly happened when you applied for your son's passport.
So honestly, like whatever I've done past 15 years, I've only done that for my son. Because for me, if I didn't have my child, I would have just been like any other single person living in Bombay. It wouldn't have mattered, right? Like I would just been like, okay, I'm done with it and over. I don't want to get into anything with him, like any kind of litigations or anything. And even though it's the ex who has like done all the cases. I never went to court. He's the one who went to court. So when I went for Muhammad's passport, they just kept telling me that you need to get an NOC, and then getting an NOC from this man was not going to happen. I was never gonna go and be like, can you give me an NOC? Because like other
Exactly.
parents, sorry.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Like, like other parents who actually probably get divorced at very for like normal reasons. You know, I wasn't dealing
yes,
with someone who was normal. I was dealing with a psychopath. Like for me to
exactly.
go and
Yeah,
ask for an NOC was not happening. So I was like, I don't know what to do right now. Should I go up? Should I go onto social media, which is not my thing. I'm not crying on social media about small things that are happening in my life. Again, we have social media now. 15 years back, I had nothing, so I've literally won all my wars without anything getting out on the internet. So my uncle, he told me, he's like, there's this thing called change.org, and you can just sign out there and you can like put in your petition and write all your issues down and address it to the foreign minister of that point, that was Sushma Swaraji, and tell her that these are grievances and something has
yes. I think
I
I
remember
lost.
in an interview. One second. So I managed to do that, and I wrote it, and in a matter of 1 month, I got Muhammad's passport. It was a war. It was massive war
Okay.
because from 2013 to 2016, I was in the passport office every other week. Like the peons knew me, all the clerks working out there knew me. They were like, "Abhi,
Obviously,
she's again come, again she's come." Because every few months they would ask me to get this paper, that paper, and these papers don't exist. There's no magistrate, there's no middleman. There's a very basic form that you have to fill, and you have to go to the passport office. That's about it. I don't fit
yes,
into that form. My criteria as a single parent, I don't fit into that booklet
okay,
of theirs. So for people like me, where do we go? Because the level of divorces are increasing in India. They're not coming down.
yes,
It's just increasing. Like after this interview, I'll have like a barrage of messages and emails and DM saying that, oh, can you please help us with this? Can you please help us with this? Who's your lawyer? I feel like my lawyer has suddenly in the past 10 years gotten more clients because of me, because of just he's like suddenly it's just been out and about, and these are the levels have just gone so much, and we don't have the infrastructure in the family court for these kind of cases. So in my head, the first thing was I have to go and I have to do something for Muhammad. Whether it is taking up on social media, what is going to happen, I don't know. So then I called my lawyer up and I asked him, I was like, listen, I'm doing this. Do you think I can go ahead with this? What do you think the worst that can happen? He's like, nothing. What can happen? Go ahead and do it. I just need to tell my
uh,
son I'm in an interview. He's calling me non-stop. One sec. Yeah. So I did this, and I got calls back and forth from people saying, the passport rules have changed, the passport rules have changed. And I'm like, have they? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. And I started getting screenshots, started getting messages. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, they have changed. And I remember I was in Hyderabad that time. I was in Hyderabad that time, and a friend of mine called me saying, who also helped me expedite the whole process, was like, you're going to get a passport in like 2 days, so you don't worry about it. You come back when you want to come back, but please answer the passport office when they call you. So I did get one call. I think I missed it, and then finally when I got another call, I answered it, and then the man was like, I'm so and so calling from the passport office. Can you please come and collect your son's passport? I was like, the
wow,
passport's already here. He's like, no, just come here. You have to fill in few forms. When you come back, I will tell you. So I went to the passport office. It was the first time that I didn't have to introduce myself to an officer. He's like, oh, Patni, आपकी ही चर्चा हो रही थी ministry में. I'm like, wow, okay.
wow.
I've been addressed as Miss Patni, and also
Mhm.
आपकी चर्चा हो रही थी means it's a big thing, right? Being spoken in the
Yes,
Indian ministry. And he's like, this is the form. You just fill up this annexure and you'll get the passport in 2 days. When I read the annexure, it's literally copy paste of my petition. The problems that I had, along with thousands of other single parents living in our country, it was exactly that. Some tick marking
yes,
and he's looking at me and he's like, "आपने सब tick mark किया." I was like, these are exactly my words which I've been telling you from 2013. So he's looking at me. He's like, we've also become very open-minded. I was like, open-minded? In
thanks
my
to you.
head, open-minded? How is this open-minded? This is
Yes,
not open-minded. These are basic rules that single parents need in our country. Because where do people like us go? Where do we go? Who do we go to at the end of it?
exactly.
And that's that. The rules got changed. I believe some people are still struggling because I think different states like Karnataka, they're not very well versed with this. So Bombay, I
Okay,
believe it's still easy. So that's my fight for passport.
okay, great. But it takes a lot of courage, and strong women can. I mean, the way you did that, you are the change maker. So that's the big thing. I
Thank
mean,
you.
just like just accepting our failure and just accepting it that, like, we are weak or something like that. It doesn't work that way. So great,
No,
great.
I don't think I could be like I'm weak and I can't do this. I mean, I had to do it for my son. Like there was just no way I was gonna have him being stuck here till he's 18. I wanted him to see the world at a young age, the way my parents took me. And just because of this man, I was not going to like stop. I'm like, there's just no way. So in a way, I'm glad.
You're a strong mother. Okay.
Thank you.
And we were just talking about the laws here, and people generally think that the laws are totally in favor of married women. But your fight went for so long. You had a long legal battle. So please tell us what exactly went wrong there.
Since you're asking me what went wrong there, it's really unfortunate. We live in a country where bribing people and getting your way done is far more easier than actually a truth and a lie. Like that doesn't happen. So my case only went wrong because my four lawyers they were bribed by my ex. So there was a lot of under the table dealing which I wasn't aware of because it was first time I've ever been to court. First time I actually had like awareness of what goes on in a government organization, what goes on in our Indian system. It was like a first hand thing. I know sometimes drivers pay bribe to not get their license taken, or can you get this paper, but not at an extent of a human, of a whole human. So every lawyer of mine, till my last lawyer, had taken bribe from my ex-husband. He bribed the judges at the small court till
Okay.
the high court. Judges could have been taken care of, and no one says anything. It's always like, look the other way. Not our family, not our child, and that's exactly what went wrong. At the end of it, my hospital file held a lot of credibility, and in my case, I'm not lied about anything. If it's like I was wearing black and he broke my, like, hit me or whatever, that's exactly what I have written. I have not said anything else, unlike other lawyers who are like, oh, you put this case on him, put that case. I'm like, there's nothing that I need to put. There's anyway so much, like put a Dahej case on him. I was like, for what? That was not the case. My actual matter was so much. This does not require anything. So put the actual matter, and I actually won based on my actual matter much later. It took me almost 4 years to correct every single thing and then go forward. So that's why 4 years became 10 years. 6 years of custody and another 4 years I had to fight for my DV,
So you had to
domestic
fight for
violence.
10 years.
10 years, yeah. My full battle actually ended in 2014 end.
So it's like 10 years of your life were like stuck in the legal battle. And that's a
Yeah,
hell lot.
yeah, till I was
Okay.
30. 20 to my spend my entire 20s in court.
Or, after becoming a mother, the society just pressurizes the woman to, adjust and compromise, come what may. So, what advice do you have for people who think like that?
I don't know whether it's after having a child, people think you should compromise, or it's more like after having a baby, after getting married, you're supposed to compromise. See, when there's a very fine line between compromising because you actually love the person, so you're trying to make a few adjustments so you can stay with the person, then someone forcing you to do something that you're not okay with, or to be someone that you're not okay with. Are you understanding? Like I'll
Yes,
compromise in a way. Okay, my partner doesn't like the fan really, what you call, on a really high speed. So you come to a middle ground. Don't keep it on a speed of 5 or a 1. Keep it
yes.
on 3. But forcing would be that no, you're only going to sleep in the heat because I don't like the fan.
That's
Because
the
there one
sadistic thing.
person one person is actually being tortured. So
Exactly, Tosh.
yeah. So there's a huge difference. Like I feel like every marriage, every relationship is a compromise. Me and my sister, we probably don't agree on every single thing, but we find a middle ground where we agree to disagree. But
Yes.
that does not make me violent or her violent. So
But there
that's
has to be a middle ground. It can't be like, that you compromise on everything and you just become a puppet in the hands of others. So that
Yeah,
can't be the thing.
that cannot be the thing. You can't. I don't think anyone should make anyone their puppets in any
Yes.
relationship. Because it does not only go to a husband or wife, but it's only like it has to be equals. I think relationship should be equals.
Quality is the thing. Yeah. Okay. So, marriage is not exactly the end of the world for the girls, and especially the ones in which they have to go through abuse and harassment. So, what advice would you like to give to women who are going through this phase, abuse and harassment just now, and they're still adjusting just because
So,
they're women?
so I feel like it's really hard to leave an abusive marriage. To be honest, I think I just got lucky. I would have still been either stuck there or probably dead by now. Like, I don't have any other answer to that. It's really hard to leave abusive marriages because some people, they live off that. Like, some women don't. They're like, no, it's fine. He's doing it, but still my kids are being taken care of, or I'll be taken care of. And that circle is really vicious. So I feel like women who can leave for your own kids, I think you should leave, because staying there for the kids is not giving a very good idea of marriage, relationships, and what a marriage should be to your younger kids. And they will suffer because they will see parents fighting full time, other than a parent raising the child in a happy, peaceful atmosphere. So I think women don't realize that. I feel we should realize that, and also have your finances first taken care of, because unfortunately we live in a country where women are not given the liberty to work, or they have not been brought up in that form that, oh, you are going to work. Like, once you finish college, you have to find a job, you have to help yourself, you have to move out. We've not been conditioned like that. We've been conditioned to, by the time you reach 18, then we start finding rishtas. By the time you're 25, you get married and then you have a child. That's our conditioning.
Yes.
Our conditioning is not that you need to educate yourself, you need to be on your 2 feet, you need to work really hard, you need to build something for yourself and then go forward. And I was also conditioned that way. My conditioning was not any different. I was also, but my circumstances were really different. So I think women should just make their finances really strong. And if you can move out, just leave. Your children will be raised way better in a happy atmosphere as a single parent than having two parents who hate each other.
Yes,
Or if one
exactly.
parent is abusing the other parent.
Hmm. The mental state of the kids won't be good. Plus, financial independence is very, very important.
Yeah, it
If
is
you're
very.
dependent on the other person, then there's no way to go.
There's no way you'll be able to leave, because you'll be like, oh, how will I take care of my children or my meal or anything? I'm getting a
Yes.
lot of questions, but I don't think these questions will stay.
Yeah, so questions are just rolling up. Mostly
Then,
people are saying part to you and
thank you. There's someone
and
who said,
respect. They're basically complimenting you. So did you
thank
come
you.
across any other question? I could just see compliments for you. You're saying
There's,
100% correct,
there's
and
someone,
they can correlate with you.
there's someone called, I think Sherry, she was asking a question, but I don't know how to go back to them. Dear Zaaria, how
Uh,
do you not let the world's taunt and stares and gossip not get to you? Do you ever feel overwhelmed and lonely when you see everyone else get married happily? I don't know how many happy marriages are going on right now, but no.
exactly, if they're
A,
happy or not.
I,
No one
A,
knows.
no one knows what happens behind closed doors. Please don't go by Instagram posts of couples and feel like everyone's happy, because there's a lot of sadness and a lot of story attached to that as well. And no, I don't care for gossip, honestly. I've never cared for gossip. I've always felt like I was the black sheep of the family, and technically I was the black sheep of the
Really.
family. And it didn't matter to me. And it still doesn't matter to me. Like, I absolutely don't care. I'm not harming anyone at the end of it. So I don't care whether you're happily married with like 5 kids and all of that. I know what I have done for my child, and I'm fine with that. And you don't need to let society or people or anyone tell you what you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to do, especially when you're working in for the right things. I'm not saying to do
Yes.
wrong things and then be like, people are gossiping about me.
Hmm.
Do the right things. And then if they
Yes.
gossip, it's okay. If you're standing up for yourself in the right way for the right reasons and people are still gossiping, It's fine. You don't have to care. How are you going to live in the society if you're considered like all the time going to be asked
We
by the
can't
society?
just keep caring about everyone else, na?
Absolutely not. I frankly don't care.
Yes,
So,
we should not do that. Yeah,
so
so yeah, it's this only, like, someone else is saying that please share how do you not let the toxic stares and taunts of the conservative Indian society get to you?
I belong to a very conservative society, but I absolutely do not care. For me, it was like I'm doing this for the benefit of my child. No one else is coming and paying my bills, taking care of him, rocking him to sleep, going for PTA meetings, then running to the court, spending 8 hours in the court, and coming back to a crying child. I've been through that by myself. No one did it for me. So I do not care what anyone says. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm like, you were not there when I was going through this. Now, after a story being published, there's like 5 minutes of fame. Now people want to be like, oh, we're Zaaria's friends, Zaaria's cousins, Zaaria's this, Zaaria's that, went to school, went to
Yes.
college. It doesn't matter. I was struggling that time. And I did ask for help. No one helped me. So I figured a way out and I helped myself. Until date, I have figured a way out for myself in every way when it comes to Muhammad. Like, there's just no one can turn around telling me, oh, we helped her through this or that. Like, yeah, I had one friend who helped me through my passport and I really owe him a lot. But that's about it.
That should be the way. We should not really, like, keep on going. Everyone has his or her own views. How can you be listening to all of them all the time? It's
Exactly.
your life, your way, to be precise.
Exactly.
Any other advice or any other thing you want to share with women over here, which can, like, really, because see, the main problem these days is that women are really not aware about their rights or anything. They're just stuck in the situations and they just accept the life as it is. So the main point over here is getting them aware about the things.
I see no one really knows. Honestly, our Indian law keeps changing every day. We don't have so much of an infrastructure that's strong enough for tomorrow if something goes wrong that the women can run there for help. We don't have that infrastructure. So it's better that we safeguard ourselves and not put ourselves in positions where we have to like regret later. If it, whether it comes to first thing, educate yourself and be so self-sufficient that tomorrow your marriage is supposed to be with a spouse because you want to get married and not because I need someone to be financially dependent on. Are you
Exactly.
understanding? Yeah,
Yeah.
so first figure out your own life and be on your 2 feet and then decide to get married. And then, yeah, so on and so forth. I feel like there are a lot of young viewers right now. And I think, like, first thing should be, like, I need to just educate myself and just be on my 2 feet. And then marriage should be on the second option. Because
Exactly.
marriage now is not like how it was back in the day that, getting married, you'll be settled because marriage, like I keep saying it, like it's the most unsettling relationship. You have to really, really give it a lot of food for it to sustain. You have to feed it every day. That's the only way it stays settled. It's not like how it was.
Exactly. Like, if you are independent and self-sufficient, definitely you'll get more respect from a partner. Even this is the thing. So studies and financial independence are fairly more important than getting married first.
Yeah, 100%. More than respect, I don't think a partner needs to be respected if the woman is working or financially independent. I feel like you should be respected either ways because many of our generation's parents were not, mothers were not working or financially independent, but I felt like there was a lot of respect then. I feel like people now don't have respect for each other. They don't respect the love relationship. They don't want to nurture the relationship. That's why things are just going out of way, and there's no compromise also to a certain extent, right? There's no compromise. Like no one's meeting anyone halfway anymore. So
So, Zaria, thank you so much that you came forward and shared your story with us on Girls
I,
Pass. Your life story is seriously so inspiring, and I'm sure it will inspire many women because we will be saving this video on our feed. So, see, the
thank you.
basic idea was this only, when the abuse hits, what should be done. So, I think everyone got the idea regarding that, and you are a true inspiration on that, and
Thank
seriously
you.
a strong, strong woman regarding that. Power to you, seriously.
Thank you so much. And thanks for having me here so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Zaaria.
Thanks.
Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.
You too. Bye.